I'm going to show you how to make a very simple Kumihimo disc to do the different kind of cording or braiding. You're going to get a small piece of cardboard. You're going to use a cup from one of your buckets, and this needs to be traced on the cardboard upside down. Before you trace, just make sure it's all the way on there. I'm doing mine in Sharpie just so you can see it better in the video, but you are going to do yours in pencil. Once you have drawn the circle, then you're going to go ahead and just cut it out. It is kind of thick, so just do your best. If it's not a perfect circle, it really doesn't matter. You just need the general shape. And you can recycle your cardboard scraps when you are done. Next, you're going to take your pencil and you're going to divide your circle into eighths. So the easiest way to do that is just to draw a line straight down the middle, across to kind of make a plus sign. So now you have fourths, and then you'll divide it with an X to make the other eighths. So now we have 8 sections. Now you're going to make some marks. I like to use my pinky finger, kind of just line it up right on the very edge of the circle, not here, but kind of put it right at the edge, and then just make a little mark right next to your pinky, and do that on each line. So line up that finger, make the mark, and go all the way around. This again does not need to be exact. You just need a mark a little ways in that's about equal all the way around. All right. Once you have made that mark, then you're going to cut. You are cutting on the line and you need to stop at that little mark you made. Don't cut all the way in, so just cut a little bit. I like to use the back part of the scissors to just simply cut a tiny bit. And you're just gonna do that on each line. All right. For this next part, each table is going to have a piece of insulation, and you need to put your little note on the insulation. This part should not be dangerous if you do it carefully. You're going to open up the scissors, and you're going to use kind of one arm of the scissors to kind of push down. You need a hole in the middle. So you're going to push and twist. It will eventually go through, and it will stick itself kind of into the cardboard piece. That's why it's there. That way you don't have to worry about stabbing yourself or the table. Gently kind of remove the scissors, and then you can use a pencil to make that hole bigger. So kind of just force a pencil all the way in, kind of wiggle it around a little bit, and you should get a decent sized hole in the middle. Once you have that, you can also turn it on the back side, and please just write your name and your class code, so your grade level and your teacher's first initial of their last name. And then you'll be ready to do the next part. Next, you're going to need 7 strings. It can be any combination of colors. It can be all the same. They can all be different. You can have some repeats, but you need a total of 7. You're going to grab each string, and you are going to kind of pull one end kind of equal to each other. Don't worry too much about the order in which you do this. If you're doing a pattern, you can worry about that in a little bit. These strings are all different lengths because they are pre-cut. So again, you're kind of just gathering all of the loose ends in your hand, because next we're going to go ahead and tie them all together. So I have all the loose ends. I'm going to kind of comb my fingers through here. And now we need a knot. You need your knot to be as close to the top as possible. So please don't have your knot way down here. That's going to be a big waste of your yarn. I kind of just loop it around my fingers, hold all the ends together, tuck all of those strings up, pull that long end through, and then before I just yank it tight, if you pull it a little bit and then kind of put your hands down here and slide it up, you'll be able to get your knot much closer to the very top of those strings. You also want to pull as tight as you can, that way you have a nice small knot. Once you've done that, you're going to be sticking it through this little piece you created. It really doesn't matter which side you stick it through. I prefer to stick it down through the top piece where all my lines were drawn. You're going to force that knot through the hole. It might take a little bit of effort. So the knot should be hanging out of the bottom, and out of the top come all those strings. You are going to pull each string into a notch. If you want some sort of pattern, now would be the time to arrange it in your pattern. So I'm just going to pull all of my strings into a notch, And you might be saying, hey, there's 8 notches, there's only 7 strings. If you've done it correctly, you should end up with an empty notch. So if you look here closely, I have my 3 strings here, 1 here, 3, and an empty one. Once you have it with the strings on top and you're not hanging out of the bottom, then you're ready to use our tool. Actually using it is really easy. Once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick. The rule is you always want the empty notch facing you, so always make sure that's at the bottom facing you. Once you have the empty notch, you're going to count the strings. You're going to count to the 3rd string, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this string and pull it out, and I'm going to move it down to where the empty notch was. Now I'm going to turn the disc so that that empty notch is again facing me. If the empty notch is facing you, you're going to count up the strings, 1, 2, 3, grab the 3rd string, move it down. You're going to turn the whole thing so that the empty notch is facing you, count your strings, 1, 2, 3, grab it and move it down. That is all you have to do. My suggestion is that after you do that a couple times, take your fingers and kind of rake them through your strings. Sometimes if you don't do that often enough, your strings get very tangled. So as you continue to do that, you will see your braid coming out the bottom. After you've been doing it for a few minutes, a lot of kids say, I don't really see anything happening. The magic does not happen on the top. The magic happens on the bottom side. So once you've done it for a few minutes, again, kind of detangle your strings, and then if you look at the hole, you will see how it started to kind of be braided together. So it will continue to grow out of the hole the more you do it.